Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the inaugural episode of Beyond the Whistle, Season 5, Episode 1. We're back for this new school year, and we got a lot to talk about. I'm Ryan Bell, joined alongside Jason Generalis, PJ Neville, and Thaddeus Burley. Guys, it's football season.
Yeah, super excited to be back on the podcast, back in school, all that good stuff.
Football is starting tomorrow. We got the opener, Cowboys-Eagles. Super exciting. I'm just super excited for this football season. A lot of podcasts.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I think this is going to be a good year. I think the league's a lot more balanced than in years past, especially in the top. Yeah.
All right, so we'll kick it off. Our first topic, we'll do some headlines from the offseason, just one or two, something that stuck out to you that will affect the NFL this year. And Jason, we'll start with you.
All right, I am going to do Jair to the Ravens. So Jair Alexander, cornerback on the Packers, went to the Ravens in this offseason on June 18th. He was doing good with the Packers. Last season he had 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown, and just an overall good corner. He's easily a top 5 corner in the NFL in my eyes, and I think he's going to add a lot to this Ravens team. The Ravens defense, he's just going to make them great competitors in this season, and I think the Ravens have a shot to go far.
Yeah, so my thing is that it's not actually a move. It's the rules. It's how they put the little chip in the ball.
Yeah, like how they do tennis.
Yeah. It's like almost like what's the soccer thing? The VAR.
VAR, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like they have like they show like a little animation and it shows you where the ball's spotted and if that's a first down or not.
Yeah.
I think that kind of takes away the chain gang, but I still don't think that it really does that much because the refs are still spotting the ball. It's not giving you the real furthest spot that the guy went. Right. It's giving you where the refs put the ball down and then just if that's a first down or not. So I guess it makes the game move like a minute quicker if you're eliminating the chains, but that's really it.
Right.
So relating to you, PJ, I talked about some rule adjustments. Well, first of all, this one's not an adjustment. I think a highlight from this season is just the tush-push, stand around, brotherly love play in Philly. They tried it 92 times last year and converted on 91.3% of their tries, actually. So
that's crazy.
I'm super excited to see that back. I think it's completely fair if any team can do it. So, and then onside kicks are allowed at any point in the game.
Good.
So you don't have to wait till the fourth quarter anymore. I think that's going to be super interesting. In my opinion,
that's like all the griefers in like college football online.
Yeah.
They always just do onside kick every play. That's good. That's now in the NFL for everything. All right, I'll go back to a trade. Probably the biggest move of the offseason was Micah Parsons getting dealt to Green Bay. I think that kind of took everyone by surprise. It seemed like he was maybe going to get a deal done with Dallas, but kind of that last minute Green Bay swoops in. So he signed a 4-year, $188 million contract, which is ridiculous, and he deserves all that money. Because he is probably the best defensive player in the NFL. I mean, I love PS2. That's a DB, so compare those two positions.
Got to give respect, or got to give credit where credit's due, I think is the saying.
But the Packers got Micah Parsons, and Kenny Clark goes down to Dallas along with 2 future first-round picks. So, some people think it's more of a balanced trade. Others think, Green Bay definitely won that. I think it's fine for Dallas to get those future picks, but you can't replace Micah Parsons. That guy is by far, like I just said, best defensive player in the NFL. So that's probably the biggest one for me of the offseason. All right, so now we'll move on to conferences. We'll first start with the AFC. We each got a division. We'll do a little preview, our order of, who we think is going to win it and so on and so forth. And Genny, we'll start with you.
I have the AFC East where my Jets are in there. Unfortunately, I do not think the Jets are going to win this year. I think that crown will go to the Bills. NFL has already released that they think the Bills have a 99% chance to make the playoffs before the season has even started. Josh Allen, the Bills just got a great all-around team. And they're just looking good. I don't think anyone will beat them out for the top spot this year. Now it gets a little bit more dirty. The Jets, Patriots, and Dolphins are all kind of question marks for the season. It depends who do we think Drake May is going to perform well. Will Tyreek Hill have his bounce back year? I have the Patriots at number 2. I think that they're going to have a decent season. Drake May looked pretty good. They have Gonzalez in the corner at the corner and. Overall, they're really shaping up to have a good rebuild year. I have the Jets at 3, and then the Dolphins at 4. I don't think the Dolphins are going to do too hot this year. Maybe if they get hot with Tua, HN, and Tyreek, but that's barring no one has an injury, and they're all very fragile. So I guess we'll see what that happens with that.
Yeah, so I'm on the AFC North. I think this has been kind of over the past decade or so, call it, one of the more contested divisions. I think really all four of these teams just go back and forth all the time, and it's always a good game when either or any of these teams play. I think so. For my standings, I think everyone probably has the Ravens coming out on top of this, but I actually like the Bengals coming out of here. I think with Joe Burrow back and he's healthy, I think that's going to be a good duo with him and Jamar Chase, as well as also T. Higgins. I think the Steelers, everyone already knows they're going 9-8. Let's be honest. And then people aren't too high on the Browns, but I think they could, make some moves if they start doing well. Their defense is pretty strong. I think they could get in the mix a little bit if they play their cards right.
All right, so moving on, I am on the AFC West. Of course, I'm a Broncos fan. I am going to have to put them winning the division. I think that isn't a crazy take. I think other people would maybe talk or say the same thing. But nonetheless, 3 playoff teams from the AFC West last year in the Broncos, Chargers, and Chiefs. I think the Broncos are going to finish with a 12-5 season. And again, I think they're going to win the conference. I think coming in at 2, I have the Chiefs going 11-5. I don't think they're going to have similar production to last year. They had a 15-2 season. I think some of those games are very close calls. I think everybody knows that. I think the Chargers are going to go 9-8 and either barely sneak into a wild card or barely miss playoffs. And I think the Raiders will be like an 8-9 team. I think they're going to turn things around this year and just barely be under 500.
All right, I'll end it off with the worst division. This is just the dirt division, the AFC South. I don't think anyone cares about the AFC South whatsoever, but I'm going with a little bit more unique than most people. I think Houston is probably the consensus, team to win the division. I'm going to go with Jacksonville, actually. I think the Jaguars are going to have a good year. I like Trevor Lawrence a lot. Brian Thomas Jr., I think, can establish himself as one of the best receivers, and I also drafted him in fantasy, so got to rep him. Second, I'll still go Houston. Maybe they get like a 7 seed in the playoffs, but I think their offensive line might be one of the worst in the NFL. And CJ Stroud's a good quarterback, but they don't really have a ton of weapons, obviously outside of guys like Nico Collins. Third, the Titans and Colts both suck. Let's just put it straight. Daniel Jones is starting quarterback. Your guy.
Yeah, my guy.
Great Daniel Jones.
I wouldn't call him my guy.
Just like a guy.
Yeah, I was a big Daniel Jones hater when he was playing for us.
But yeah, he's a starter in Indianapolis, so that's like a 5-win ceiling for the Colts. Titans. Cam Ward. I like Cam Ward. I think he will be good, but rookie year it's going to be rough, and they play Denver week 1.
Denver week 1 out the gates. Yeah, there's no way they win that one.
That's tough. But yeah, I'll go Jaguars to win the AFC South. Now we'll switch it over into the NFC. We'll do the same rotation around the table. And Jason.
So this time I have the NFC North, a pretty competitive division. Definitely last year they had 3 double-digit win teams with the Lions, Packers, and Vikings. I don't think we'll see the same production out of them this year. I think the Lions and the Packers are going to be good. I do have the Lions taking the top slot in that division with the Packers close behind. However, instead of the Vikings having a good season like they did last year, especially with Sam Darnold, now they have J.J. McCarthy starting. They're going to try and get back in the swing of things. But I think that Caleb Williams will lead the Bears to the 3 slot in the division. I think the Bears will just miss the playoffs, but I don't think the Vikings will have a shot at the playoffs this year. I think they're going to be a decent ways below 500. So I guess that's maybe a little bit of a hot take, but I don't think the Vikings are going to really step up.
All right, so I have the NFC East, of course, the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Eagles. Pretty much everyone headlining them as kind of the top of this division. Everyone's saying that they're going to win it. I agree with them. I think that the Eagles probably will win this division. Yeah. Sadly, over my Giants, yes.
You got a lot of hope.
Yeah. I think our defensive line is good, and other than that, it's a work in progress. I think Washington will be coming in second in this division. Jaden Daniels was phenomenal, especially down that final stretch last year. He definitely put on a show there in Washington. Then third and fourth, it's a battle between the Giants and the Cowboys. Let's be honest, everybody in Dallas is washed. So for that, I'm going to go with my Giants. That defensive line is going to kill Dak Prescott. and they're going to take the 3rd seed in that division.
Like that.
Hopefully not everyone.
So moving things along, I'm going to go pretty quick here because we are scrambling with time. So I have the NFC West. I think the Seattle Seahawks are going to come out on top in this division. I think Sam Darnold is going to continue his productivity from last year. I think they're going to be 11-6. So then I have the Arizona Cardinals. I think they're going to be 9-8. Marvin Harrison Jr. putting on like 20 pounds of muscle. I think he's going to be very good this year. I think he's going to have a good year. Then I'm going to have the LA Rams coming in at 8-9, and the San Francisco 49ers at 7-10.
Yeah, so I got the NFC South. I think Tampa Bay wins that division pretty straightforward. They're far and away the best team there. Not a lot to say. I like the Panthers a lot this year. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but Bryce Young is great. Obviously, Ted McMillan drafted him with that 8th pick. I'll go Carolina 2. Falcons are going to be 3rd. I think they're a fine team. Michael Penix is good. Don't call him the wrong name because he got really upset.
I saw that.
Yeah, he got a little ticked off. And then lastly, the Saints, I think, are the worst team in football. They are, well, before last weekend, I'd said tank for Arch Manning, but after that performance, don't know if you want
I don't know about that.
But yeah, so Saints are, I think, by far the worst team, and they'll round out the NFC South. All right, so now we got our Week 1 predictions. We're not going to do every game, just I think 4 games is what we got. Jason, we'll start with you. Tomorrow night, Thursday Night Football, kicking off the season, we got Dallas and Philly.
Thursday Night Football, I am going to take the Eagles, the reigning Super Bowl champions. I don't think that's too much of a surprise, but I think the Cowboys will keep it close. They'll put on a show for the first game of the year. In a spread pool, I would definitely take the Cowboys. I think they're going to keep it within touchdown, unlike what PJ said with them all being washed. But yeah, I think it's going to be a close game, but I definitely have the Eagles out on top.
Am I doing that game or am I?
Yeah, well, we'll just do a quick pick of that game. Yeah.
All right. Eagles, like I said earlier, Dallas is washed.
Eagles, period, Lincoln Financial. There's no way the Cowboys win this.
Yeah, I think it's Eagles. I don't think it's going to be close, Genny. I think it's going to be a blowout for Philly.
At least a 2-touchdown game, in my opinion.
All right, Friday night now in Brazil, so another country. I think there was one game last year in Brazil, so this is the second time they're going down to South America. Division game, Chiefs versus Chargers, so we have implications for that as Broncos.
Yeah, that's going to be nice to have one of those teams take a loss Week 1. For sure.
So Jason, who we got? Chiefs, Chargers in Brazil.
I have the Chargers taking this title in Brazil. I definitely think they can step it up against the Chiefs this year. Hopefully the Chiefs don't get a couple lucky calls.
Yeah, the Chargers have had some good luck and some bad luck against the Chiefs in the past couple of years. This one, I think the Chiefs are kind of on a revenge tour, especially their last game being that Super Bowl loss. I think Mahomes is going to come out firing, and I'm taking the Chiefs money in the bank.
Yeah, I like the Chiefs here. I think it will be a super close game. I think both teams are going to come out firing. I think it's definitely going to be an offensive battle, but I'm going to take the Chiefs in a close one.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I'm kind of going back and forth in this one. I'll go the Chargers. Why not?
I like that.
I hate the Chiefs, and they had a lot of problems in the offseason. Travis Kelce, something happened with him over the offseason. I'm not sure. I guess people are making a big deal out of that. But.
Yeah, I think my cousin got engaged someday, and she said something about like Travis Kelce, something about a gym teacher or something.
So, yeah, I don't think it was too important, but regardless, I will go with the Chargers to win that game and start off the year 1-0. All right, 4:25 on Sunday, we got the Lions at the Packers. Quick pick from all of you.
All right, Lions-Packers, quick pick. I was surprised the Lions were dogs, but I'm going with the Lions.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Lions too. I think Parsons is probably going to tear up that offensive line, but I like that Lions defense a lot.
Yeah, I like Lions in this one. I need Amon-Ra's fantasy points, so I'm hoping he's going to have a good game.
I'm not going to go all with the Lions. I'll go Green Bay. I think Parsons in his first game makes a big impact. I think Jordan Love plays fine. I'll go with the Packers.
Like that.
Then our last game, Sunday Night Football, we have the Ravens heading to Buffalo. That should be a great game. Genny?
I think Ravens are going to be on the revenge tour after that Mark Andrews dropped 2-point conversion. I'm going to take the Ravens in this one.
So playing up in Buffalo, that might be the hardest place to play in the entire NFL. Those fans are nuts. They are borderline lunatics.
Yeah.
And
Great
for
wings. Great wing spot, room 40.
That's
actually.
Yeah. But that and the Josh Allen effect, I'm going with the Bills.
I think Baltimore's productivity is going to be way too much for that Bills defense. I think Lamar and Derrick Henry are going to come out firing. Again, like Jason said, they're on the revenge tour. I think in a shootout in one of the best games of the entire season, Baltimore comes out on top 1-0.
I agree with you there. I think it will be a shootout. I'll go with Buffalo at home, though. You know, Peter mentioned the atmosphere there. I think Buffalo, I feel like they always win those kind of early September games at home. So give me the Bills to start off 1-0.
Yeah, if this game was in January, maybe it would be a little bit different. But
all right, so almost done here. Now we have our hot takes for the year. So we each got a take that we feel pretty strongly about. Could be a little crazy. This is your time to kind of bring on your Stephen A. Smith here and just say something really dumb that may or may not pan out. So, Jason.
All right, my hot take for this season is that the Chiefs will barely finish above the Raiders, coming third in the division. I think the Madison Beer and Justin Herbert-led Chargers will come out firing, take that division. I think the Broncos will come in second. I think the Chiefs might sneak out a wild card spot, but I don't think we're going to see a deep run in the playoffs, and I don't think we're going to see a lot of winning from the Chiefs this season.
all right, so I'm kind of taking it a little bit back to our NFL Draft podcast that we did that aired in June. It was really late, but
got out.
So, as you guys know, I'm a big Harold Fannin fan. And so my hot take is that Shedeur Sanders and Harold Fannin will be a top 3 quarterback tight end duo in the league by the end of the year.
I hate that pick. I'm actually going to pull something out for everyone. Although I do not ever like the Patriots, I do think they're going to turn things around. I think they're going to have a winning record, maybe even sneak into playoffs. And I think Travion Henderson, Ohio State running back, will be the offensive rookie of the year. I don't know what I don't
know what they're doing over there. My hot take, I'll go with the Jaguars. I think they win at least 12 games, like 12-5, maybe 13-4. I love Trevor Lawrence. Get that out of here. What are we doing here? The Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence. I saw he kind of cut the hair a little bit. He still looks like a girl, but I still think that he might be one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL this year. Give me the Jaguars to go 12-5, 13-4. All right, we have about 2 or 3 more minutes, so we'll wrap it up with our Super Bowl predictions. We can look back on this later in the year, probably see how wrong we are. Jason, take us away.
I'm going to go with the America Bowl that could have happened last year but didn't. I'm going to go with the Ravens-Lions, with the Ravens coming out on top. I think the Ravens have an excellent offense, an excellent defense, and a great all-around team. I think they're going to be super good this year and are going to be a Super Bowl contender and winner.
Yeah, so as much as I want to pick the Browns to come out of the AFC, I don't think that they'll get it done in playoffs. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
And
I'm going to go with the Lions as well, just like Jason. I think that that Lions team, they've definitely, over the past 3 years compared to where they were 5 years ago, they're a totally different team, totally different franchise. And as much as I would love to say that the Lions win the Super Bowl, I still do believe that they are cursed, and I think that the Chiefs are going to repeat. I think that they just have such a trail of success. I know that it's probably I don't know, a bad take that people are going to flame me for this, Patrick Mahomes, but I do think that they're going to win it.
So Jason spoke the words out of my mouth. Got the exact same Super Bowl prediction. It's the one everyone wants. Gotta pick it. I will also pick the Ravens to win. I think the lights will be too bright for Jared Goff in that game, and I think the Ravens' productivity, like I said earlier, is just going to be too much for the entire league, and they will be Super Bowl champions.
Super Bowl, obviously a very important game. A lot of bowl games all across college that people love. The Sugar Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl. I think UConn and UMass have a big bowl game. I forget the name of that one. But then you got the Super Bowl, the game of all games. Give me the Buffalo Bills to beat the Green Bay Packers. I think I've said Buffalo the last couple of years. But I think this is their year. They finally put it all together. Green Bay is a great team, but I think Josh Allen finally gets his first ring. And, I think Buffalo will come out on top. All right, so that will do it for episode 1 of season 5 of the Beyond the Whistle podcast. Have a good rest of your day, everyone. We'll see you next time.